Alright, so now that we've got the stock lightened up, we're going to grab some steel wool and use that to sort of buff it out because the sandpaper is a little strong and you'll make the stock actually smaller than the original size, and stuff won't fit together right. So we're just going to use various grades of steel wool to buff the stock down.
Okay, there's a few different types of oils you can use. One's boiled linseed oil and the other is tung oil.
In this case, we used boiled linseed, but it doesn't dry on its own if you use it by itself. So you have to cut it with acetone or another thinner. So we used 50-50 boiled linseed and acetone here.
That seemed to work out pretty well. It's kind of a light coat, but it worked quite well in this case.
It's now time to reassemble the K98. First thing you can start with is grab the stock, stand it upright. You can grab the whole barreled receiver and drop it into place. Next, grab the trigger guard, the magazine, floor plate, push them up into place. At this point you can flip the rifle over. Only thing you really need to assemble a rifle is a flathead screwdriver. This is an awesome benefit of the Mauser rifles. If you've ever taken apart an Enfield, you can see the difference in how complicated the weapons are compared to this. This is very simple. You just want to put the action screws in kind of light because you don't want to tighten one side all the way. You'll have uneven pressure. Go ahead and tighten the screws down a little bit. You can go back and forth between each side and just tighten it a little bit more each time. You probably want it in there pretty tight. I mean, if you check the barrel to see if it's touching wood, and it is, you can sometimes adjust tension on the screws to maybe allow the barrel to float a little better, but usually tighten it down hard is the best way to go. After we've got these screws in, they're nice and tight, you can flip the rifle over and see that it's, you could actually fire it like this if you wanted to. That's all it would take. But next we're going to go ahead and install the butt plate, which is another thing that just uses flathead screws. Very simple. Alright, so the next thing to do is put on the front hand guard. Now the first thing you want to do here is grab the barrel band that has the little lug for the sling. This goes on with the sling lug on the left side. You just slide on a little bit like that. Then grab your handguard piece. It fits right up underneath the little catch right in front of the sight, and you can slide the band forward. You can slide it on there nice and snug. Now the next thing to do is go ahead and grab the spring. Introduce the spring into the groove, and then you can grab the front band that's going to hold the barrel, the bayonet lug to the barrel. You'll have to depress the spring and then slide it right over it. Alright, and at this point, just the bolt needs to go back in. And there's the completed rifle. Definitely looks better than when we first got it, that's for sure.